Already out here on Tuesday morning, getting ready to go side dress. PA Farms wanted to see a review of the grease gun after I'd used it a while. Really like the thing, like it a lot. A little bit of specs. It's rated at, in the high range is 5,000 psi at 10 ounces of grease per minute is the dispensing rate, and the low range is 10,000 psi instead of 5,000, and it's 3.5 ounces of grease a minute. And let me tell you, 10,000 psi, that is a lot of pressure for a grease zerk. I've broke a couple grease zerks just because that's too much pressure for them. I don't think, if you ever see a grease gun listed for more than 10,000, you don't need more than 10,000. I also have it set on this feature where it puts out 15 pumps. You can set it for several numbers all the way up to 50. If you just pull the trigger and it stops when it gets there, it's kind of handy. I just kind of pick, grease it a little bit and pick know how long it takes to grease till grease starts to push out just a little bit, and then I can just pick a number and go with it. Center one, I always give this one 3 share 45 pumps. And I can set it just to be on all the time, which I'll do on the 3-point pack here. What a mess. Anhydrous and lines freeze up just because of all the anhydrous and the pressure drop running through them, so they run frosty all day and attract the dust. Grease just came out somewhere. There we go. Five of them on each arm. I give these a shot. Sometimes they don't take them. It's the threads that hold to adjust to level up the 3-point. That will just about drip on your boot if you're not careful. But I'm real happy with this grease gun. We went through a fair amount of planning. I think I ran 10 or 11 tubes through it before I had to charge the battery. I've got one of the 5.0, the big batteries in it, and it still wasn't dead. I still had 1 bar left, so it'd probably run at least a dozen tubes of grease through it. And I was running on the high range most of the time. The stuff I was greasing wasn't a terribly high pressure needed to grease it. New tank setup they got this year. They got 4 of them. Kind of trying them out. You can see they straddle 3 rows. They got an offset hitch and they hold 2,000 gallons. Instead of straddle, they got to straddle 3 instead of 4 because they won't go on the scales. Otherwise, they straddle 4. This one here might have to go down to 1, or I have to pick the tail wheel up. And that's about all you're going to get right there. Problem is that pin is sitting against it. But you can't grease that thing too much or it gets a flopping going down the road. And I got this handy little light if you're greasing at nighttime. I forgot this one. Let's see if this will. Nope. There we go. Yeah, I got a few left here, but that's probably enough of the grease gun review, I hope. So, I really like it. I'd recommend one. Yeah, you can get all size batteries. I'd recommend going and getting the bigger 5.0. I know it's more money, but if you add up the amp hours you get, you know, if you buy just the 1.5 ones or the, you know, the 3 or something, it's the cheapest amp hour one you're going to find. So I'd recommend go ahead and get it with the big battery and you won't be upset. I'll add about the battery. Like for us, you know, we travel a lot for farm grounds, and the grease gun doesn't really leave the truck while we're farming. And so, unless we do have to charge it, and then you got to try to remember to bring it in of an evening to change that grease zert. And it is nice, you know, you just put the battery on, never worried about if it was charged, because it was always going to be charged when we went to use it. It just stayed charged, and all we had to worry about was carrying tubes of grease with us. I think the charge rate on the big ones is 1.5 hours too. It takes 1.5 hours to take them all the way up to full charge. But yeah, I'll make one more mention on this grease gun I forgot about today. It's got this little hole here and this button you can push, and after you put a new tube of grease in it to get the air out, you screw it all the way in and you push that button and hold it for a second, and it'll, you know, push a little grease out, but it'll also push the air out also. So I wanted to mention that. And then it's got this plug. You can take this plug out here, and if you load like bulk grease, you can load bulk grease somehow with it instead of just like putting tubes of grease in. So yeah, I just want to make mention of that. And there's the light at night. It's pretty bright. But anyway, so there you go. Thanks for watching.